What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mortal 74. I am Mortal, and today's video I want to talk about a book that is about games. So, I like to read. I like fitness, nutrition, video games, and I do like reading. I don't read nearly as much as I would like or that I should, but when I heard about this book, I had to get this one because it is about the game, a significant part of video game history. And that book is called Masters of Doom by David Kushner, subtitled How Two Guys Created an Empire and Transformed Pop Culture. So, this book is kind of like a biography. It's a biography of the two creators of Doom, John Carmack and John Romero, but it's also a kind of not biography, but a history or early history of id Software, the company that they started to make the game Doom and then later Quake. And it is a fascinating read. This book is a page turner. The way David Kushner writes, I constantly wanted to know what was in the next chapter. What were John Carmack and John Romero's personalities and personal characteristics that led them to create the games that they created? How did they come up with the ideas to do what they did? What was their upbringing like? What was the culture at the time of the 80s and 90s that led to the creation of these games? And it is fascinating, this book. So it does give you a quick glimpse into each of their upbringings, where they came from, where they grew up, what their family life was like, and their interest in computers and into computer programming. So, like many programmers from that era, they were intrigued by the arcade games, but the arcade games were just so advanced and so far superior to that, who could ever make a game like that? But when they discovered computer programs and text adventures on computers, and games like that, you could actually write code for that and make your own games, and that's where they started, basically. And then to learn about how they met at Apogee, I believe is the company that they were freelancing for, or that they were employed. I think they started as freelancers for Apogee, and then they became employees. But basically, John Carmack, the kind of mastermind behind the actual technical development of the engine behind games, he discovered a way to create side-scrolling on computers, which had apparently never been done before. And he recreated Super Mario Brothers 3, I believe it was, the first level, or maybe it was Super Mario Brothers 1, but he recreated a Super Mario Brothers scrolling level on a computer, which had never been done. He left it for John Romero to find at work the next day, and they basically quit their jobs like that day or the next day, because they had created something technically that had never been done, and they were going to do amazing things in the industry from that day on, which they did. And they created Commander Keen, which was a side scroller, and then they went on to do Wolfenstein, which they're also famous for, and then from Wolfenstein, Wolfenstein was the first game that that mimicked 3D imaging, and then Doom was the mega hit that kind of perfected that mimicked 3D imaging. And it's just a fascinating story about Doom and how it changed the world and how everyone was playing Doom in the 90s, and how it took over the media with the controversy of the demonic themes of the game and the violence of it and all this stuff. And then to get into the kind of deep interminglings of id Software, the company, and the company culture, and how it was changing with massive and rapid success, as it would happen to any company. And then the kind of fallout between John Romero and the other employees at id Software, and his departure from Romero's departure from id Software, and then he starts up his own development studio, and it doesn't go so well, and the game that he tries to make becomes inferior to Carmack's newest game, Quake 2, and it's just very, very interesting to see these kids. Like they were only like 21 years old, I think, when they created Doom and became millionaires, basically. So it's this book, Masters of Doom, highly recommended to learn more about the video game industry, video game history, and one of the most important games in video game history that has changed the landscape from its inception to now. So just wanted to highlight this book and suggest to all the collectors out there, and to all the other people interested in gaming history, this is a book to read. It is a entertaining book. It's not just boring history. It is highly entertaining. So that's it. Please subscribe to my videos. I do 2 or 3 videos a week. I have more content coming out as the weeks go on, and I do other content as well on bodybuilding, fitness, nutrition. If you have any requests for videos in those genres or themes, please let me know in the comments. Please comment below. I do read all the comments, and I try to respond to all of them. That's it for this video. Thanks everybody, and take care.